Confidence is not just something that lands on your lap one day. It can be learned. I was a shy kid and also quite reserved and an introvert. I was bullied at school like so many other people are, mainly because of 3 things: my name, the beauty spots on my face, and because I got good grades at school. I've also been a perfectionist and overachiever, and I wanted everything to go right so that I can feel good enough and feel confident. But nowadays, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I consider myself to be quite confident. How did I get to this point? Let me share my best tips with you. I started reading some mindset books a few years back, and then I realized that our identity is not fixed. We can, at any point in our lives, change our identity. And that's the moment when the light bulb kind of popped in my head, and I was like, that's true. Even if I don't feel so confident, I definitely can become more confident. It's not like if I was not confident as a kid, I cannot be confident as an adult. Your identity can be changed. So the first thing is to realize that if you're not confident right now, it doesn't mean that you can never be confident. You can start practicing being more confident in everyday situations. Confidence comes from trusting life and trusting yourself. Well, how can you trust life and how can you trust yourself more? One way to practice this in everyday situations is to start affirming to yourself new thoughts about yourself. For example, if you go to a place where you feel a bit intimidated, where you feel nervous, you don't feel like you belong there, just tell yourself in your mind straight up, I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. People might look at me and that's okay. Because your default settings are going to say, oh my God, people are looking at me. They see that I'm awkward. I don't belong here. I should go away. Like all these things are running through your head. And you want to affirm the complete opposite. In the beginning, it's going to feel weird, but that's okay. And then when you repeat it enough times in your head, you actually start to feel a bit more confident because you tell yourself, I belong here. I know what I'm doing. I'm calm, cool, and collected. Even if those things are not what you see in your reality right now, you're still affirming those things to you. Because your brain needs repetition. Your brain needs new thoughts if you want to change your identity and become more confident. Third thing you can do is to practice rejection. You can put yourself in small situations where you know that people might say no to you when you ask for something, or where you might feel like you're being denied of something. Like not something huge, but in small situations in life. There are so many good videos on rejection therapy on TikTok that teach you that people don't really care. Like you can do the silliest stuff anywhere and people might look at you for a while, but then they just go about their lives. They don't really care. The fourth thing that helps you build confidence is allowing yourself to be yourself. So it takes a bit of inner work to get to know yourself, first of all, and then actually just accepting who you are as a person. So all those things you're blaming yourself for, or you're finding fault in yourself in certain areas, why not change your attitude towards those things and be more empathetic and more loving towards yourself? I know society shows us only one way how to be a woman and only one way how to be a man, and you have to look like this, you have to look like that, you can't do this, you can't do that. The norm is so tight, so tiny, and we don't have to fit into the norm. We can decide to be ourselves fully. Allowing yourself to be fully yourself and at the same time accepting and understanding that not everybody has to like you. That's completely okay. For me that was a big thing because growing up I always thought everybody has to like me. You know, that people pleaser mindset. But now I've gotten rid of it. And I'm like, if somebody doesn't like me, I'm still respectful. I'm still a friendly person. I'm kind. And I try to do the right thing. But if somebody doesn't like me because of X, Y, and Z, it's not my problem. It is not my problem. Just like when I was bullied as a kid. People bullied me for my name, for these beauty spots on my face, and because I got good grades at school. I was like, the more I grew up, I understood that that's not my problem. It's their problem. And the same mentality goes in life. If you want to be confident, you have to own yourself. Be who you are. Be proud of yourself. And you can learn this by understanding you can change your identity, by affirming yourself new thoughts and new beliefs, by exposing yourself to new situations where you can get rejected, and then understanding it's not the end of the world. I think the last thing that helps you also build confidence is finding something you're really passionate about. Finding something you enjoy doing in this life and then focusing on that. When a person is doing something they love, something that lights them up, when they're following their purpose or their passion, it brings this natural magnetism to that person. It also builds your confidence to think that, okay, I'm good at this, I like this, I enjoy this. And that builds trust, not only towards yourself, but also towards life. I remind myself every single day, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I'm awesome, I belong here, I'm good at this and that. And it doesn't matter what other people think of me, as long as I have a pure heart and I enjoy my life. And I respect myself and others. Everything always works out for me. And if you start repeating this to yourself, everything will start to work out also for you. This life is 99.9% a mental game. And once you master that mental game, you're going to be so confident, authentic, powerful, and absolutely gorgeous inside and out. You already are, but at the moment it might be hidden under several layers of doubt and not feeling confident. So starting from today, you start speaking to yourself differently. You start seeing situations in your life differently. Instead of, oh, that's a threat. That's a possibility for me to be my confident self. If you don't feel confident, you can act confident. And that's also what the brain has a difficulty to understand, because we are so tied to our identity. We think like, if I don't feel confident, I cannot pretend to be confident. But yes, you can. Of course you can. In confidence, fake it till you make it is kind of true. You have to make yourself believe that you're confident before you are actually confident. And that's not being fake. That's pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's growth. I already finished filming the video, but you guys, I forgot a crucial part of how to feel confident. Because whenever I feel overwhelmed and I feel like everything is just too much, I don't feel confident, I think that life is actually a joke. I just laugh a little bit in my head and I'm like, this life is a joke. We're on a floating rock and it's like, nothing really matters if you think of it that way. And life is kind of funny. And that always releases the pressure and makes me feel like everything's gonna be alright again. See you in the next video. Bye!